Viewers, and many thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television. I am Eileen. Let's begin the news in the Littoral region in Douala, chief town of the region, where bike riders in the city have once more expressed their anger, calling on their colleagues to stop wearing jerseys. This comes as a result of disputes between one of theirs and a council officer yesterday morning in Akwa Douala 1 municipality. This was a similar scenario at Koto. Let's now take a listen to one of the commercial bike riders who spoke to Chris Toby. We are going to listen to one of the bike riders who spoke to Chris Toby, complaining on what is going on in the city of Douala with the council, please.
Even at the one way police for their company, even that Mary for the work assist for their content. They don't see my younger brother don't lost his driving license, the ID card, we follow it by you know, they don't lost up. But we said for place where we work, they don't gonna arrive for your play, but see all that in the way it don't be fair. They was sitting in the arrive for your play where you need to work by. So now other kinds of things they never really and the event. So we will beg with the authority they will be concerned, we will try to put an end to all these things. But it's kind of very things of possible for the council. So at least thank you very much. Thank you.
That was one of the commercial bike riders in the city of Douala complaining there while talking to Chris Toby of My Media Prime Television. Now, onto this human interest story. Residents of Katie Hausa, a neighborhood in Bafoussam, chief town of the West region of Cameroon, had a distressful night after several houses went into flames in that neighborhood. The cause of the fire is not yet known, but investigations are going on to ascertain what led to the outbreak of the fire. However, the phenomenon of fire disasters in Cameroon has now become a daily affair, with all challenged to be more cautious on a daily basis. In a related incident, a wildfire that broke out Thursday afternoon in a neighborhood in Mongo division of the Littoral region of Cameroon has consumed several homes. The population's effort at putting off the flames yielded little or no fruit, as the damage was so enormous. Although no human casualties were recorded, the material and financial damage caused by the fire was huge. Rodrigue Daguerre, a supporter of the Cameroon Renaissance movement. Now let's take this other human interest story before we get there. One of the victims of the Ombe road accident that occurred recently in the southwest region has finally died in the hospital. It is what recalling that he was part of the 4 who were occupants of a vehicle that caught flames in the middle of the road as a Mile 3 road, Ombe, in the southwest region of Cameroon. He later on died in the hospital after the other 3 were saved when this incident occurred on Tuesday. Now, Rodrigue Daguerre, one of the supporters of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party, MRC, has reportedly died at the New Bell prison, Douala, after contracting cholera. Reports say Rodrigue was chained to a bed at the New Bell prison at his time of death. A picture of the deceased MRC supporter with him chained to his prison bed, looking pale, has popped out on the internet. And according to sources, Rodrigue, who was an MRC activist, was arrested during the September 2020 protests alongside many other militants of the party, some of whom were released following an order from President Paul Biya. Now, the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Nalova Lyonga, has interrogated teachers and administrator of the Yona College in Yaoundé yesterday in a bid to ascertain what transpired before the student stabbed his principal. Colette Lum was present at the interrogation session and brought back the following report.
We are in the Yona school premises where 19-year-old student stabbed Principal April 6 for confiscating his sweater on April 4. Speaking to some of the students, they explain what transpired.
We
heard the screams, and before we went out, he had stabbed the principal. He was calm and quiet. This is the first time he went into such anger.
Vient de blesser le principal.
Lundi, l'élève est arrivé à l'école après le rassemblement avec son
père. He came with his mother and the teachers were rude to the mom. So a day later, our classmates came with a knife and we heard screams and we jumped out. We saw a pool of blood after he stabbed the principal and the principal was rushed to the hospital. I'm certain it is the ill manner in which the teacher spoke to his mom that angered him that much to do this act.
Et de mon point de vue, je crois bien que c'est ça qui a poussé l'élève à agir de la sorte.
In a heated interrogation between the Minister of Secondary Education and the school administration, including the school proprietor, the minister fished out a lot of loopholes in this institution. Not only have the school proprietor not met with the norms of this establishment required of a secondary school put in place by government, the school is equally plagued with increased crime rates like drug abuse, sexual abuse. We discover cases of teachers and some students practicing sexual violence in this establishment with drug abuse, which needs to be looked into. Yona School, going by Minister Nalova, has issues with discipline, absence of staff room, playground with 93 teachers for 700 students in a very tight, unclean and unsafe environment.
I approach the premises immediately. It tells me that this should not exist. I look at the justified conditions of your existence.
The school representatives put up defensive arguments regarding the loopholes pointed out by the minister in collaboration with the Gendarmerie of Corbison Quarter, where the school is situated. This student was stubborn. He has been facing disciplinary counsel, but his mother is always coming and supporting his actions. The father is always absent in this disciplinary because he was angry with the poor attitude of his son. Why the mom? Minister Nalova says the school may be shut down after deliberations with her team.
While we are deliberating on the case, I want you to follow this close collaboration so that things should go on well.
I'll do everything to see to it that my school meets all with the norms required by government. Please do not shut it down. Meanwhile, the principal is still alive and presently receiving treatment in the hospital where the minister later made her final stop. This situation would therefore serve a lesson for other schools to step up their disciplinary measures.
Now, the defense session of the HND second batch of students of the Higher Institute of Management and Technology, HIPMAT, was held yesterday at the Bonamusadi campus in Douala. To this effect, friends, tutors and well-wishers came around to support the students, as Mirel Ngaket tells us.
This honorable member of the jury will ask you to take it as serious as possible and equally to be as relaxed as ever before.
It is in these words that the president of the jury, Diep Gafrit, launched the 2022 defense session for the Higher National Diploma Batch students of the Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology, HIPMAT. This day, 7th of April 2022, in the premises of its Douala campus located at Carrefour Yorojos, a total number of 27 students from different fields of study, banking and finance, accountancy, transport and logistics, human resource management, engineering, marketing, stood in front of friends, family, teachers, corporate bodies, and supervisors from tutor schools to present the results of the works carried out during their months of internship.
We want to acknowledge that this is an academic exercise and it is done in partial fulfillment for the award of the Higher National Diploma in their respective disciplines. And the school has been instructed by the ministry to set up juries, and it is this jury that is going to evaluate the students in their respective field of studies to ascertain whether they meet the requirement for the award of an nation.
The academic exercise, though tedious, left a greater majority of them satisfied of the work done and support provided by the school.
As a student of this field of studies, logistics and transport management, my topic was focused on the challenges faced by translating in the handling of clinical. At the end of this internship today, my grade was very good, and I'm so proud of it. It was not an easy task, but finally I succeeded. So all thanks to God and my supervisor, my teachers. I thank all of them.
I defended a report on the impact of stress on employees' performance case of completed attempts to run banking company. It was tense, the atmosphere was somehow stressful, but it was good.
Hibmat House is slogan as Hibmat family. So in this Hibmat, people are being treated like family members. And now it offers high quality education. So I advise members to come to this prestigious institution.
In its drive to achieve academic excellence, Hibmat has created a safe haven for education, allowing students to fully explore their capacities.
First of all, Hibmat stands for the Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology. It is a university institute for professional excellence and innovation. And this university is mentored by 2 state universities. We have the University of Bamenda that mentors all the professional fields of studies, and we have the University of Boya, which mentors the other fields of studies. Our curriculum or our academics is structured in a way that the teaching is meant to enable the students to adapt themselves in the professional world.
This has gone a long way in helping the staff and management in achieving its vision and goals.
We are out to see how we can work in line with the heads of state's vision of making Cameroon an emerging nation. And with this, we try to use our existing resources and potentials to modernize the economy of Cameroon and put it on the right path for globalization and urbanization.
As they say, education is the passport for the future, but tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Hibmat, with campus in Boya and Douala, is leading in the move, and from the look of things, will not stop.
You're welcome back. Now, chiefs of Muya Court area in Boya subdivision, Fako division of the Southwest region, recently held a meeting to deliberate the way forward for the betterment of their villages, as some of them abandoned their villages for fear of the unknown. Moki Regan visited some of the villages and compiled the following report.
And this is how some of the palace looks like, abandoned.
Per the custom and tradition of a Mokweman, traditional rulers are not expected to be out of their palaces for too long, but the insecurity nature caused by the Anglophone crisis, some of the villages in Munyakot area of Boya subdivision, Southwest region, is witnessing the loss of cultural value as traditional stool abandoned.
These are some of the traditional stools owned by these traditional rulers, which have been abandoned. Before now, somewhere here in the palace used to be the secret house which the Bakriman called Ndambanjo. It's nowhere to be found. It has been destroyed, an indication that the culture and custom of the people of this land is missing.
And their chiefdom colonized by unidentified gunmen and palaces abandoned for fear of the unknown, which these palaces used to serve as place of solution to the different problems faced by villagers.
Behind me is the palace of Wokaka, owned by His Royal Highness Chief Joke Jombe Johnson, which has been abandoned. And over there, a few meters from this palace, is the palace of Chief Jem Mandengi of the neighboring village, who is also nowhere to be found. The culture and tradition of the people is absent.
Driving across the villages, seeing the reality on the ground, we met this young man by chance in Mamo village, vomiting, an indication that he is sick. but the nearby health center is not fully operational because of the insecurity nature of the area. It's against this backdrop that traditional rulers of Munyakot area summoned a crisis meeting to deliberate the way forward in bringing all elites together for the betterment of their area, said the president.
The meeting of today was to ensure that certain things that are going wrong in our area should be put into order. We've talked on how to bring our elites together so that we can work as a body.
The 3 hours 18 minutes 42 seconds meeting was chaired by the president of the court area, Chief Ikomi Philip, who called on those in the bushes to come out and rehabilitate themselves in the rehabilitation center.
Our brothers who are still in the forest, that we are really pleading with them to lay down their arms and join the centers that have been created by the administration for their safety.
It should be noted that the Munyakot area has greatly been affected by the crisis, as the chiefs count on the collaboration of the administration for security.
Moki Regan reporting there from the Southwest region. Now on to entertainment. Cameroon movie industry is set to welcome a new blockbuster movie titled Bamboozler, a movie which focuses on a woman whose quest for love leads her into the dark, mysterious world of a serial womanizer and that of a demented maniac and serial killer. Bamboozler will premiere on Saturday, April 9th at the La Falaise, Douala. During a press conference which followed the team's arrival into the country yesterday, the producer, Dr. Belinda Babila, revealed that the movie is aimed at raising funds for the construction of an IDP training center in Mabanda, Bonaberi. Let's now take a listen to Dr. Belinda Babila, the producer of the movie Bamboozler.
Realize that everybody is on Netflix and we are donor cutoffs because COVID devastated the economy, so we had to sit back and re-strategize and recalibrate, and we saw that everybody was glued to their Netflix TV stations. So we said we would decide to do entertainment, we'll do movies as well, but because to continue to preserve our humanitarian, so that's how movies came to it is a trench story, and that's what the global perspective of Bamboozler is. The character in there rolls him off with serial trench story. We would explore more of that April 9th.
The movie equally stars Nollywood sensation Chidi Mukeme, who doubles as director of the movie. Let's now take a listen to these other excerpts compiled for us by Joy Gong and Mancho Robert.
The movie Bamboozler, like you already know, is executive produced by Dr. Belinda Babila. You all already know her. She does a lot of humanitarian work through her foundation, the Belinda Babila Foundation. And this movie is a continuation of that project. So as part of our conversations, she was exploring ways in which she can raise funds for the humanitarian work that she has been doing over the years to be able to continue the work. And we thought about movies as part of a fundraising initiative. So that's why this has been called a movie for a cause from the beginning. So we have labeled it a movie for a cause. It's the first of many projects that she has lined up because she's trying to embark on a very huge project, which is trying to build a center for the internally displaced persons and trying to provide some form of intervention for displaced women and children, and provide training for all sorts of things that they can do to keep themselves going. So that's why we embarked on this movie in the first place.
You're welcome back. Now, the regional finals of the FENASCO Games League B, played in Gaundari on April 4, 2022, showed a firm determination of the athletes to make the voice of the Adamawa region heard at the national FENASCO finals. Catherine Ekongwe compiled the story. Let's take a listen.
The opening ceremony of the FENASCO Games in Adamawa was an opportunity for the head of basic education schools to come together with the supervisors of various disciplines to cultivate a spirit of sports, perseverance, fair play, performance and efficiency amongst athletes.
Et remercie Dieu qui nous a fait, on a remporté cette coupe.
Remercions les participants, nous remercions ceux qui ont assisté.
According to the regional delegate of basic education for Adamawa region, Komo Esai, who took part in this competition, saw athletes putting in their best to win the games, which is hope for a better tomorrow.
Nous sommes satisfaits de ce que nous avons vu les enfants engagés, qui ont joué avec l'esprit du fair play.
We are very satisfied with the performance of the children who demonstrated a spirit of fair play, and this brings us to conclusion that our youths are still very committed to contributing to nation building. Today, the Adamawa region has its representative who will go out and compete with those of the 9 other regions in the finals of National FENASCO Games, which will take place in Yaoundé. We want to seize this opportunity to congratulate all stakeholders who deployed their best to see that this competition ends up a total success.
Cette finale régionale des Jeux FENASCO Ligue B édition 2022 dans notre région.
The qualified athletes from the regional games received blessings and honors from the entire inhabitants present, beginning from the Secretary General in charge of services at the Governor's Office, Obama Belua Christian, as all eyes are now directed towards the finals which will be held in Yaoundé.
In news out of the country, at least 6 people have lost their lives and 15 others wounded after an explosion in a bar at the Kafindo military camp in Goma in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Among the victims are Lieutenant Colonel and his wife, a captain, the owner of the bar and her friend, as well as a 12-year-old teenager. Over in Ethiopia, at least 101 children have been repatriated from Saudi Arabia today as it continued a campaign to return 10 of thousands of nationals from the country. Many of the Ethiopians from the Middle Eastern country are undocumented migrant workers who have been detained in squalid conditions. That concludes Prime Flash on My Media Prime Television with me, Eileen. Thank you very much for listening. The news was produced by Junior Pelama. And more is coming up on My Media Prime Television today. In the House is up next with Nora Kibia and My Media Prime's beautiful ladies at exactly 12:30. Country News will be yours with Masa Talk Talk. 1 p.m. the rebroadcast of Prime Hour. 3:30 French News with Gladys Bomotongina. And at 6:30 p.m. English Primetime News with Fon Quinta. 7 p.m. it will be time for Prime Akum Leonard and his team. Want to wish you a very happy weekend. Bye for now. God bless you.